What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 6 of Don't Cross the Streams. I'm Will, here with my buddy
I'm
Jay. And guys, tonight we're very excited. We appreciate everybody, being patient with us. We've got the Pink Ranger, Catherine Sutherland, here with us tonight. And just before we bring her in, I'm super excited. I know Jay is as well. I got to meet Catherine last July. And when we talk about, family and how amazing some of the guests we've been able to bring up are and how nice and good they are to everybody, I just want to say you guys are all going to be in for a treat because, Catherine was just a complete sweetheart, as you guys will all see here in a minute. So I'm not going to delay it any longer. Jay, are you ready?
Oh, very much ready.
All right, guys. So welcome in Catherine Sutherland. Catherine, thank you so much for being here with us.
Hi, guys. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. So yeah, we had a couple technical difficulties. We're all here. We're all on board. Everybody's safe. That was the biggest thing. I just want to make sure that you were all safe and healthy. That was what we were a little worried about, but we're here now.
Yes, just it was my quarantine brain messing up the time zone.
Hey, that happens. Even earlier, even Jay was like, I'm confusing the days. Like, so what is going on today, or what's today again?
Yeah, it's all molding together now. I can't keep track.
Well, you emailed me. You emailed me to remind me, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, it's Saturday. I'm yes, I'm on. Like the days just melt towards each other. Yes.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. It's such an interesting time to be alive. Let's just say that.
Yes, it certainly is. Yes.
How comments are already flooding in. Hi, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for joining in. We got Chris, Chandler, Justin, Nicole, some of our staff.
Aiden, Jason. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
so I know we're on a little bit of time constraint here. Will, you want to kick us off here?
Yeah, so, we've got, first off, again, Catherine, thank you so much for joining us. Again, like Jay said, we are on a time constraint, so if you guys have questions, start putting them in the comments. We'll do everything we can to try to answer as many of them as possible. Start off, Chris says, best Pink Ranger ever. So.
And the most relevant, I'd have to say. You definitely, you were what? You had the most different costumes out of any Pink Ranger, or any other Ranger, right? Did you have the most costumes out of anybody?
Yeah, I had, other than JDF, I've had the most costumes. I had me and Johnny tied, actually. So I had the Mighty Morphin, the Ninja, Zeo, and Turbo. And if you count my cat monster outfit, there you go.
Yes.
Yes.
Kitty cat.
Kitty cat, yes. So yeah, lots of changes there.
When the cat monster, when did I see you started out as a would I say a villain or a bad guy,
yes.
lady? I was gonna say bad
villain.
guy. But I'm like, yeah, villain. Where did the cat monster come into that?
So I think it was in a Ranger catastrophe. So I was a girl that could turn into a cat, and then at one point I turned into catastrophe monster.
Gotcha.
But they wrote it in to be a cat. So
yeah. Yeah, no, I love. Oh my God, all the wardrobes and everything on that show.
Classic. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh, here we go. We got a couple questions.
We got a few, yeah. So Chandler so just a little quick thing on Chandler. For those who don't know, Chandler is a local cosplayer who works with adults and kids with special needs and has created his own Autism Ranger suit and is a huge fan. So his question for you, Catherine, was what got you into Power Rangers and what was it that got you to want to audition for the show?
Well, I don't know when I auditioned. I auditioned in Australia. I was just going out for a regular audition. All I knew was that it was a children's show and it was going to be relocating you to America. So I was very excited about that prospect. So I had to do a martial arts routine and a scene. And then my second was the same. And the third time I went in, I met with one of those. Once I booked the show, I decided to look it up, and it had just started airing in Australia. So I watched and I was like, what the heck is this about? Confusing. So I really didn't know that I was going to be replacing anybody or anything like that. I thought I was just an addition to the cast. So I was watching it just so I knew who my fellow actors were going to be. And then I found out that I was going to be the new Pink Ranger. I was replacing Amy Jo. I didn't know how popular the show was or anything like that. Once I realized that, it was a little intimidating, you know. So I'm very honored to be a part of the franchise. So it's a pretty big deal.
It definitely took on a life of its own. I mean, I assume that you didn't think that this was going to be something that you could literally just like carry on a career, meeting people, talking about it and everything.
Right. I mean, none
it's
of
just
us.
like stepping stone. You're like, get this out of the way. You know?
Yeah, no, I was very appreciative, to be honest. I mean, I was so happy to work every day, and they were my family, and I really did appreciate being on the show at the time. However, I didn't think I would be talking about it 25, 26 years later. I just thought it was a fad, you know. I cannot believe that it's still going, and people, it seems like it almost has picked up more momentum. It's more popular even to some degree. And I think it's really great having social media, because it's enabled me to see the impact. Whereas when I was on the show, we would get fan mail and things like that, but I didn't have that immediate connection with the fans that I get now. So.
Yeah. No, and I mean, it's probably coming back around full circle, just because all of us, you know, that started watching that show as kids now have kids, and the show's continued. Yes. So, you know, I'd say that's one of my favorite things about being a dad is I've been able to just get out all my old toys, all the things that I used to like, and get my kid into them. Now he's playing with them, you know?
Yes, I know. Isn't that fun? And I say this to parents all the time that bring their kids. I'm like, it's so fun that you're passing this something that you loved as a child, and you can share that with your child rather than having to be forced to watch something you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's really lovely to see that connection between parents and kids. I love that.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. What else you got, Will?
So Chris Gagne, Catherine, what was your favorite season or your favorite suit that you got to wear?
My favorite suit was an Ninjetti suit, because it was definitely like wearing pajamas. We didn't have to wear it too long though. That was a very quick little blip in the seasons, but I did enjoy that suit. And what was my favorite season?
Yeah, favorite season.
Is that what? Yeah, favorite season. You know, of my seasons, from because I feel like that's when we really got to know Kat, and I really liked the storylines and all of that. I did love being evil in Mighty Morphin, and I loved in Turbo that we got to fight more civilian fights. I enjoyed that. And if out of all of the Power Rangers from beginning to end, my favorite is actually Time Force. I really loved Time Force. I've only watched it recently because an errand on our show on Power Rangers Playback, but I really loved their storylines and the whole time travel aspect, and it was really, really well done, I thought.
Nice. Seth asked, what is your favorite part of being a Ranger?
Well, I really loved being a superhero. I thought that was really awesome. I loved that we were strong but feminine girls that didn't need men to save them. I liked that. But my favorite part really is connecting with my fans. I just love that I get to go to conventions and that I get to talk to them on social media and just be a positive influence to people. That really does mean a lot to me. I'm very grateful for that.
That's one thing that I mentioned, was that you appreciated in your younger episodes some of more of like the being like a role model as far as body image and standing up for yourself and all that kind of stuff, because obviously that is still today. Everybody's still dealing with that stuff. Or
it's very relevant. Yes, relevant today and always. I do really appreciate being a good example and just helping people feel good about themselves, encourage them,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, as you were saying, Catherine, about being able to, connect with your fans, I just feel like, Power Rangers has such a massive following that, you've got, smaller conventions like us, larger conventions like GalaxyCon, but there's also, just straight up Power Ranger Comic-Cons as well. So it's just crazy to see how, that. And how long have you been on the, doing the convention scene?
My first convention was in 2009. Do you guys know who Henshinvolt is? Do you know JC? Do you know he makes a lot of the power coins? He's a prop maker. He's really talented. But anyway, he was the first person that reached out to me, and he said, "Would you like to do Anime Expo?" And I said, what is that? I have no idea what that is. And so he explained to me conventions, and I'm going, what are you contacting me for? What show? And he goes, Power Rangers. And I said, really? I was like so shocked. So I get down there, and there was like probably maybe 10 of us, 10 Rangers. So I got to reconnect with Blake and Nakia and all. And there was lines of people. I was just really shocked. And all I had was one picture, like one old headshot to sign for people. And it was really overwhelming. I was like, wow. And at that convention, I met Scott, who does Power Morphicon. So that was my second one the following year. And that was really overwhelming because it was all Power Ranger fans. And then it just kept, gradually going. At first I only did maybe 2 or 3. And then now I do 12 to 14 a year. It's just, it's really crazy. It's really crazy. And as my kids have gotten older, it's easier for me to get away and do them. In the beginning, when I had babies, it was a little harder to travel. But now we've figured it out. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Hayden asked, what was your favorite villain you got to fight?
Favorite villain I got to fight? Probably Rito and Goldar and Rita and Zed. I just thought they were so funny, and I got to work with them a lot in the beginning. So probably them, I would say.
Yeah, Rita for sure. It was definitely like my first real taste, I felt like.
Yeah. Yes. Great character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody had said that they did get some of the where is it? Time Force badge from him at Ranger Stop. So.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Jason sells them on his website too. JasonFont.com. Plug my friend.
Yes. So one of the first thing Ribs said was like, well, is it he makes his own, his own badges. Is it okay if he brings those? I was like, yeah, of course. Like, why not? Anything to help add that experience for the fans. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was telling us all about that. So still very much looking forward to. As a reminder again, everybody, Catherine, as of now, we're hoping. Schedule October 2nd through the 4th, 2020. She'll be in Bangor, Maine, so you guys will get to see her in person.
Yes, I'm really hoping that it happens. We'll stay positive, right?
Absolutely.
As of right now, I mean, the biggest thing that we're trying to be positive about is the fact that, we are a smaller convention. So if there is going to be like a soft opening kind of thing for these conventions, I feel like we're going to be a good example for that, being in October. We're... the biggest convention that we've had, we've brought in 6,000 or so people. So, I mean, ours compared to Rhode Island, which I think is still happening as of now, but they bring in like 100,000 people. At
right.
event,
Right. I know I'm supposed to go to New York Comic Con, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. That seems a bit of a stretch because they have, it's so huge, you know, and it's hit New York so hard. So I'm hoping, but yeah, we'll see.
Definitely be safe. I mean, we understand. Don't feel pressured or anything, you know, because it's still you and your family and everybody at risk with all this, and that's the reason why we're doing this. The reality is set in, you know. We were all ready for our event. It got pushed back, and we all had comic convention on the brain. We're so thankful that we're able to at least bring a little bit of a convention vibe to people, that they can still have like a meet and greet like we're doing right now. So
yeah, exactly. I love that you're doing this, and a lot of people are starting to think out of the box like that, which is good because we don't know how long it's going to go on for. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, not only how long it's going to go on for, but how long is it really going to affect us? You know, like I watched a video today of people shaking hands, and I'm just like, are we going to go
Right. I know. And you go outside, and it's such a weird thing to see people masked like this, and you can't, like, I'm so happy I can see you guys smiling because you can't see people's faces. It's really just unnerving to me to not see. I'm standing in the post office with my mask on, and I'm going, if I came in here like this 2 months ago, they would have thought I was robbing them, you know?
I pull up to the grocery store, and I'm like, all right, got to put on my bandana like I'm about to rob the place.
Right. Yes. You know? I had a moment today that two things happened that just kind of shook me. I was like, first thing was I saw, you know, you see trash on the ground, and I saw a mask as trash, and I'm going, when would we have ever had a mask as trash on the ground? That's the first thing. And the second thing was, instead of seeing like dice or hanging from someone's mirror, I'm seeing masks hanging from their car mirrors, you know? It's so weird.
Yep, it is very weird. You got people just have them. They're like, well, I got one. It's fine. I got one.
Right. Yes. Wow.
I think we got a couple more. What we got here? We got
I think we've got most of everything. Everyone's just kind of saying hi at this point, and we're just, you know, thankful that Catherine's, you know, taking the time to join in and saying how much they can't wait to see her this fall.
I love you guys.
So while we got a few...
Everybody was so excited when we announced that you were coming. So.
Thank you so much. I'm excited. I've never been to Maine, so I'm very excited.
Well, we'll drive by Stephen King's house because that's always one stop everybody has to go to.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So we've got a few more minutes with Catherine. So we've got I guess one more Power Ranger question, and then I know Jay has a non-Power Ranger question for you. But while you were so nice enough to do that little plug for Jason, I kind of want to do one for you. So you have your own YouTube show going on right now with Nakia called Power Rangers Playback.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And so you know, what got you into wanting to do that? And where do you kind of see that going moving forward?
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I appreciate that. So Nakia and I do a lot of conventions together. We're like sisters, and we were in Scotland, and we met, I'm sure you guys have heard of Nolan North and Troy Baker. They're very, very well-known voiceover actors. And they also have a YouTube channel called Retro Replay. And they've developed, their YouTube show is probably, they had as many people visiting them for that as they did for their voiceover work. And they're best friends, and they have a real ease with each other. They just get along really well. So Nakia and I were watching people, talking to them, and we looked up the show and we're going, gosh, we should do something like this together, because we would have a lot of fun. And we haven't worked together since the show. So we were throwing out ideas, different things, and then it just came to us like, oh my gosh, we should watch our show, and because we've never watched it, let's watch it together and comment on what we remember from our time on the show. So
good idea.
That's kind of how it evolved. And, you know, we've run into some copyright things here and there. So we're trying to figure out how to still bring what the fans are asking for without upsetting Hasbro and Toei. But it's been really fun. And this has been a real challenge for us with the quarantine because we have been apart. So we filmed a lot of stuff before this, which was really good. So we could release things. But we've only just started doing like 6 feet apart together. And she has a room in her house where I don't go into her house. I come in the back room and we sit apart and we try to film that way. But it's definitely been a bit of a challenge. But we're still, the show. So we're like all this time going on because we don't know how much longer it's going to be. So, but it's been really fun, and the fans seem to be really enjoying it, which is lovely.
Very cool.
And Jay, I know you have, we're kind of getting close to that mark, so I'll kind of let it close out with you, Jay. You had a non-Power Ranger question for Catherine.
Well, yeah, I had a comment and I had a question. First comment is I was blown away, I gotta say, when I was looking at your IMDb and the movie The Cell. That movie messed with me big time. Like, because I mean, when that came out in 2000, so I was, like 15 years old when that movie came out, and I used to love. I mean, I gotta watch that movie again. But anyways, I was just like, I had no idea she was in that. That blew my mind, which I just gotta say. Second, you are a published author, correct?
Yes, I am.
Now, I saw, and I thought that was very interesting because I got to say, like, being a tattoo artist, being an artist that I have been, now having a son, first thing that popped in my head was kids' book, because now I'm reading an insane amount of kids' books that are just like, I feel like I could do this. Like some of them is just like a red color. Yes. Blue color, and they just say things over and over again. And I'm like, I feel like I could do something like that. And but I've never reached out or anything. And I just thought that was really cool. And I was just kind of curious. Is it really that? Not like anybody could do it, but is there really a whole lot involved as far as trying to write a book and actually get it like published and put out there?
Well, this is a little bit of a convoluted question, but that's how I was inspired to write kids' books, because what you're saying, I read so many books to my kids, and the ones that really resonated with me were the ones that had funny voices, or they had, a moral message or something that kind of spoke to the parent and the child. Like The Giving Tree is one of my favorite books. I also love Cressida Cowell. She has a book called This Bunny Belongs to Emily Brown. I really enjoyed those kind of stories. Anyway, I was always coming up with ideas and writing them down when I had my kids, and I would just tell them the stories that I would make up. And anyway, Nakia is much more business minded than I am. And so if we were at a slower convention, she's like, I'm going to meet artists for you. And she would like walk around and try and meet artists that she thought would work for my book, because she was determined for me to get it out. So I ended up connecting with Jerry Bennett. I think I was in Oklahoma or something, and this particular artist put me in touch with this man, Jerry Bennett, and he just really captured the illustrations that I was looking for. So getting the creative process of it was no problem. I wrote the book very quickly, and we got it illustrated quite quickly. But the hardest part is getting it in the right format to be sent to be published. What size of paper you want, where you want to sell it, that part of it was really challenging for me personally, because I self-published it. I just didn't know where to start, to even look for literary agents and all that. But now I've done it, I know where to go. But I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. Like the first time I printed it, they printed it wrong. They printed on the wrong paper. But it wasn't their fault. It was my fault, So, but I really encourage you, especially being that you're an artist, because you can do that on both ends. You've got the talent. I can't draw, unfortunately, but it would be amazing. You should do it. Start writing them down.
I know. I have the ideas. What sparked it for me was one day my son was wearing a shark backpack with rain boots and his PJs on. And that was the day that I was like, that could be a character right there. Like he goes through and he follows imagination and just goes on trips, but he's always wearing his little shark backpack and his PJs and his rain boots.
Yes.
But I think I just need somebody to write the stories. So, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
I'll just find somebody to write it, and then
let's
I'll
talk. Well, we
Okay.
can talk. Maybe I'll write it for you. I absolutely love writing. I find it very cathartic. And that's how my story came up, because my son is a very emotional and expressive child. And he's me in a boy's body. And I always called him my boy with his heart on his sleeve, because his emotions were just right there. So that's kind of where the story evolved from. And
that's what it's called, right?
Yes, it's called. Beautiful though is that I've had a lot of parents that have children with special and autistic, and they actually feel like the book really spoke to them, because it's about a little boy who people don't understand, and they polarize him, and it's kind of teaching. He learns through the book how to share his heart in a healthy way, and how to still protect himself and not change. And so it's been really lovely to hear that it's really touched their hearts and helped their kids when they're yeah.
Oh, that's great. I mean, well, side note, if there's anything that needs to get my butt in gear, it would be if Catherine wrote the story. I mean, I'd definitely get on board. So, I mean, you're serious. We'll talk some more. I'll throw some ideas your way.
We should.
All right. I'm all for it. We're going to talk more, especially I'll get some ideas together in October when we're actually around each other. I'll throw some ideas your way.
I love it. That sounds awesome.
Awesome. Perfect.
All right.
Well, we don't want to keep you too much longer. We really appreciate you coming along. We got anybody else ask any more questions real quick?
Anyone got any more questions?
Yeah, I got two quick ones here for you, Catherine. George asked, so where is it? Hold on. Are you going to be in the new Bat in the Sun movie project with JDF, Johnny, and Jason Font?
Yes, I am. Legend of the White Dragon. Yes.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
There's 14 comments we want to know. I'm like, let her finish talking about her book first, man.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, I just got announced last week, and they're still revealing a lot of the story and stuff, so I can't really talk about what it's about or anything, but it's really great because it kind of will fill in some of the gaps and create a new universe for the fans that's Power Ranger-ish, but not Power Rangers endorsed. Yes. So I think he's got some really, really great ideas, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I've had a few talks with Jason Font about it a few times. I feel like almost every day or every other day he's calling me or sending me messages and just hey, check this out, or how's this going? Just a super great guy. So I know I'm very excited for it.
It's gonna be fun.
And one last one, back to the book. Chandler wants to know where can he order the book from? Is that something you have on your website, or is it just best to Amazon?
On my website, catherinesutherland.biz.
There you go, Chandler. So you want to get a copy? That's the way to do it.
And is there anywhere,
a copy too for your son?
Oh yes, please. I would love that. I almost actually ordered it today, but I wanted to talk to you first before I did. Just so you knew, if you saw the order come through, that you knew it was me.
I'll just send you one. You don't have to order one.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, I support. I got no problem supporting.
All right. Well, let's call that a wrap with Catherine.
Real quick, sorry. I did want to offer you the quick chance. Catherine, is there anywhere else, anything else that you want to talk about, website or anything that you wanted for people to support you, going to see you at anything? Merchandise?
I have, on my website, catherinesutherland.biz, I have a blog I release every month. And it's just kind of, if you want to get a little more insight into how I feel about things, or you need some encouragement and motivation, I've been writing a lot on there, but I do a new one every month. The one this month is really good. Obviously, it's talking about Groundhog Day, how we feel like we're in Groundhog Day.
Right. Yeah.
And I have merchandise and stuff as well. But you can subscribe to my website for free, and every month you'll get a newsletter. And just I do code, like, gift discount codes for subscribers and stuff. And then my YouTube channel with Nakia is youtube.com/Power Rangers Playback, and subscribe. We try to do gifts, like for every 1,000 subscribers we do giveaways and fun things like that. But we'll be having memberships, and we do super chats now, and we have a lot of fun things we're coming up, some merchandise, so that'll all be coming soon. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
And of course, and lastly, you're also very active on Instagram. So
Yes.
if people aren't, follow her on Instagram. Post stories, photos all the time. Saw one earlier of you with your pup.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So, and then David just left the link for anybody watching in the comments to the website Catherine just mentioned, where you can get those items. So yeah, again, thank you, Catherine, so much for joining in with us tonight. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, guys. You stay safe, and I hope to see you in October in person.
Absolutely. Thank you, Catherine. You take care.
Thank you.
Good. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. So yeah, that was Catherine Sutherland. Yes, so basically all that's happening right now is, while you guys are seeing that screen, it's just because I am trying to do some quick edits to get everything back into place. But in just a few minutes, we will be live with our buddy Alex. I don't know if there's any comments or stuff still coming in, Jay, while I'm messing with this, if you just want to... Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like, people, like, I think, between her and Judith, honestly, for me, like, and I think it's crazy that we're having both of them, here. And as you said, I mean, Judith, she hasn't really aged, you know, at all. It's crazy to see.
Was in the movie, so I'm very interested to see if she actually goes along with that. That like blown out 90s hair going on.
Oh no.
Actually, it was 1990s, so technically it was probably still like an 80s vibe. Al, welcome back, buddy. You're looking svelte, however you say that word.
Yeah, we'll have Al here with us in just a second.
My bad. I was talking without a mic. There we go.
I was like, maybe Will just muted him or something. I'm not supposed to.
No. It's the mic. My mic was like over here. I was playing Warcraft.
Come on.
What else am I gonna do all day? Ain't shit else to do.
Oh man, I was so bummed. Game Pass had Grand Theft Auto 5, and I was like right into it, just playing it, and they took it off Game Pass. So I went to play it today. I was like, "Do you own this game?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"No, I thought I was using it on here. I didn't realize they took it off."
Oh.
Now I got to find another one.
Played Red Dead yet?
No, because I got to
so
clear
good.
some space on my.
So good.
I've been so behind on video games, and now I'm finally trying to get in. But I gotta admit, I don't know if it's that I'm a snob about video games or I'm just very particular about which game I play. Like, I'm very big on getting in, playing the game, and being able to just like turn it off and come back to it like a day or two.
Well, that's why with like Warcraft and Red Dead, that's like the only two games, like actual console games that I play. I grant like anything Rockstar makes, I'll play it. They make Bully too, which I'm pumped about. I remember I usually like that game.
I wondered about that. I saw that they released like I don't know, like an anniversary edition of the Bully game.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would be a great game to bring back nowadays.
It would be. Those are fun games. But Michelle got me into Warcraft, man, and now I'm just like a complete nerd for that game. I have all the books. I read everything. Read all the videos. I've memorized. I have Chronicle 1, Chronicle 2, like just stacks of books of this shit.
Oh my god!
So it's like
that's like
my secret shame. Well, it's not as bad. No, it's not like it used to be though. It's not like that game where you have to like dedicate like 30 hours of your day anymore. Now you can play it for like an hour or two at a time and you're fine.
Any video game that you need a textbook with, I'm out.
Dude, that game used to be crazy, man. We used to have like, I won't name names, but we had friends, not in our group, but guys that you and I both know. They used to play that game so much they'd have like 2 liters of pea jars like sitting around their computer. I remember me and you went. I don't know if you remember whose house it was. I know exactly. But we went to watch like Royal Rumble one year, and we're like, "Hey, what's in those jars, man?" He's like, "Oh no, I gotta go." And he's playing Warcraft. I never touched it. I was like, "Is that what you do with this game?" He's like, "Yeah, just total time sink." I was like, "I'll never play it. Too much. I'll never play it." And then I saw Michelle playing it. Like she's been playing it since she was a kid. And I got into it, and I'm like, damn, this game is actually. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I was like, oh, damn, this game looks pretty cool, actually. And it's not like a time sink anymore.
Well, that was like the, is it Middle Earth that I'm thinking of? Maybe I'm getting the name wrong. The Lord of the Rings video game that's out, Shadows.
Oh yeah, Shadows of Middle Earth or whatever it is. Yeah, I never played that game. Really enough.
It's an amazing game, but it's another one of those games where I got into it, and next thing I know, like you're having to create this and use this to create this potion, and everything has a backstory. And when you die, the ranks change on the enemies, and they become tougher. And I just was like, "It's too much. It's too much."
Warcraft is still kind of like that. It's like it's a 20-year-old game, and it's like a linear 20-year story. So like if you started a character 20 years ago. Like, your character's still around now and, like, goes to that whole story. So that's the only thing that's kind of cool about it is, like, you can kind of, like, literally grow your character for, like, that's 15 years, technically. It'll be 20 in, like, a year and a half, maybe 2 years, something like
that. That's crazy to think about. Now, are you talking about when you say Warcraft, are you, like,
World of Warcraft.
It's been around that long, like, when it was the, like, is it the same game that was like a down view when it first came out?
Oh, yeah, when it was an RTS. That game, I mean, the world of actual Warcraft is 25 years. So it was in the 90s when they started that game. So it was like, I think it was like 96 or something like that when the first when Orcs and Humans came out. And then World of Warcraft came out when we were in high school. That was like, it was like 2004. It was like the year after we graduated is when the actual the MMO RPG, what it is now. So, and that's the game that's mega popular, that one.
Are you, can you see the comments? Do you have the Facebook page?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so Chandler had a message. He asked if, he said Horde or Alliance.
I have 25 alts on that. I have 17 max level characters. I have a main paladin, human paladin, and then I have a orc warrior and I'm more partial to Horde, so like I'm for the Horde. But I have a mix. I literally have a split down the center. I have so many alts in the game. It's stupid.
It's like a foreign language you're talking right now.
Oh man, it's bad. Yeah, no, it's like, is it Michelle got me in the game, and she's been playing it since basically the beginning, so she's like a purist. But like I know more about the game now than she does, and she's been playing it since she was in like middle school almost.
That's insane. Yeah. Like she's been playing Warcraft like as long as I've had a Facebook account.
No longer. In MySpace days.
Oh yeah, MySpace, right? Dude, I saw a picture the other day somebody posted, and I was like, that was a MySpace photo. Like, when you see it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
miss City of Heroes / Villains. What is that?
Oh, City Heroes. Tim had that game. I never actually got to play it because my computer was a potato at the time. Didn't work.
Right.
But Tim had it. He bought it, but then he's like, "Oh, a computer didn't work," so he couldn't play it. It sat on it for like 4 years.
Oh my god. The days.
That was a cool concept for a game, though.
Was it? What was the concept?
Well, it was basically like Warcraft, World of Warcraft, where you could basically design your own hero or supervillain from the ground up, though. It customized everything about it, his powers, his look, like everything he does. And then they basically just throw you into a city and you do your thing. You can either be like a mastermind villain, take over the city, or you could be a superhero and stop crime, save NPCs, or save actual people who are playing the game. It was a cool concept, but it wasn't probably practical because I think people just tend to want to destroy shit. So that's all people do is just level everything.
Yeah, I'm on the other end of that, though. Like, I actually feel like I think I've been affected by there being so much violence in the world that I love playing Grand Theft Auto. But whenever they give you an option to, like, kill the person or let them go, I let them go. Like,
I do unless I'm Trevor. I do unless I'm Trevor. And then if it's Trevor, I just, like, mercilessly, I'll, like, burn him alive. But, like, if I'm Michael or Franklin, I'll, like, do the right thing. But if I'm Trevor, you're like, nah, I'm gonna run your face over and then shoot you like 10 times.
Yeah,
you have to. It's like you gotta get into the role playing element of the game.
Well, I never give the money back. At least there's that. You know, when I run somebody down that stole from somebody, I just give that money.
No, I did though. I did like one. I've run through that game quite a few times. Like just from beginners to it has a good replay value, but Red Dead, man, I tell you what, if you want to talk about like your choice of consequences, Red Dead's amazing. It's such a fun game, and you'll tear up. There are times in that game you're like, oh, this hurts. Like it's really good voice acting. Like the guys who do it are incredible. They're really good. So I was like super impressed with how good the story was. What's up?
Is that your cat?
Yeah, he's fine now. He won't shut up. Last week he's at death's door. I had to bring him to the vet. And now he's just like, now he owns the place. He can do whatever he wants. I let him get away with it now because it's like I thought he was literally gonna die last week. I was like, yeah, well, this is it. He's 14. It's about that time. And then brought him to the vet, and they're like, yeah, just do a little. He's like, nah, he's a little dehydrated. He just needs a little pick me up. And now he's fine. He's like back to wrestling everything and running around the house, meowing everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad your cat's doing well.
Yeah.
Part of the family, especially 14 years. You've had a cat the whole time?
Almost half my life I've had that cat, yeah. Wow, 14. He's old. Layla's pretty fine.
I say, man, I wish dogs like lived at least as long as cats, or it was the other way around, personally. Because we just do not get time with our dogs.
Yeah, I lucked out with Bentley. He's 10 this year, and he's like still crazy energetic. But the thing with Maltese is they live like 15, 20 years, like usually 15 years minimum if they're healthy, 20 years if you're lucky. So, but I met this one dude. He's like my neighbor. He's like, I had a Maltese for like 22 years. He's like, dog live forever. Like, they never get sick. I was like, all right, cool. I hope my dog does that.
We like big dogs, and those dogs, their life expectancy is like
8 years.
12.
12. Yeah, 12.
Well, I'd have to say average. Like I'm pretty lucky because average for dogs, not to lump some people, but a lot of people do not regularly take their animals to the vet or check their blood and stuff like that. And I like being with Kimberly. She's so active on that stuff that I honestly think that we get longer life out of our animals because she's so diligent.
They probably have more activity too, like living out where you guys are, so they can be outside more, move around.
Oh yeah, we had our yard all put together, and last night I had to put everything away for the snowstorm.
Yeah, did you guys get hammered or what?
Not really, not where we are. I mean, we got snow, but it already melted at my house.
Gone, yeah, it was like
really. Yeah, I figured.
It was
like stick on the grass for a minute or so, but.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and there was just like a nice like coating, and it snowed a little bit, but it basically just like switched over to rain for a while, and then it's just been like crazy winds. I know like me and Jay were talking before we started, just like you can hear it like slapping off of his house. And...
Yeah.
Yeah, if I didn't know any better, somebody was trying to break in.
Well, it was like crazy where when we had Catherine on, you could see like the sun like shining, through the window.
Oh yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, it was like 80 something degrees out today, and I was out on a nice walk. She's like, how's the weather there? And Jay's like, it snowed. She's like, in May?
Early May snowing, yeah.
Well,
Never snows that.
yeah.
That's weird. It never snows that early, man.
We got 2 tulips outside that were just like full bloom today, and then I'm just like, sorry, dudes.
You're dead.
Yeah, you're dead. Oops, y'all dead.
Nah, it's Florida down here, so it's always sunny. You can't say anything. I look forward to the days it rains because it's something different. Changes it up.
Yeah, for sure. We got a comment from George here.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh. I would like to see more of an event hall, things at the convention, screenings, talent show, cosplay competition, demonstrations, or VIP guest panels. VIP guest panels. Specifically, do you guys know what he means by that?
Yeah, you want
Well, I mean, like, you could do, like, VIP parties, where, like, you have, like, those are always cool, where, like, you do, like, VIP meet and greets, but it's, like, in, like, a public, almost like a bar setting. Where it's like
we could do like a con after dark, like Saturday night.
Yeah.
At Seasons, the Down Under Club. We've got karaoke. It's obviously it's not mandatory that the guests come, but they are invited. So we never say X, Y, and Z will be there, but there's a chance. Usually, every year everyone comes out, even if it's just for like an hour. Some stay the whole night. Last year we had Cooper up doing karaoke.
He likes to
hang out. Yeah, so
Cooper won't turn down a free drink.
He's saying
he always does with us too.
That's what he said. It was awesome.
As far as you want to hit it, Jay? Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, for me personally, like these are all things that we have worked on, but they all need to be tweaked. And I will say that this year we've really put together a team. That is specific to those. The problem is before, even with Chris or with us specifically trying to run everything, either Chris running it by himself or just Will and I, we kind of micromanaged things and we were spread a little too thin. There wasn't enough like teams in different areas. So this year, Will and I have really focused on, we had weekly meetings leading up to the event. We had different teams set everywhere so that those people could really manage that and make sure that it's got more body to it. Our Q&A panels were Q&A panels, but they were, we didn't have a moderator. They could have a little bit more oomph, I guess is what I'm saying. So I will say for things like that, we did and still do have a very good game plan as far as stepping up our game. As far as the talent show part, we've never done that, but that could easily be added in to the cosplay stuff. Screenings, we've done screenings. I don't know if there's something more specific that you would like to see, George, but the Cemetery Theater guys have usually set up some screening type things for us, which we can expand on.
Yeah. So we kind of done like almost like a main independent film thing where different filmmakers from Maine have been able to show off movies, as well as we've even done a an intro, what is it, like a 5-minute, maybe not even maybe 5-minute. You create your own film, and we show it Friday night, and we have guest judges, that pick a winner, and you guys, somebody got a prize out of that. A lot of those things too, though, are things that we've had good intentions and had set up or had pieces in place, and then have kind of fell to the wayside, or we were supposed to have wrestling last year, and ended up being the same weekend as WrestleMania, and Mania weekend is just insane, and was just wasn't possible to get talent for that. We've tried to handle tabletop gaming, and last year the person day of told us they were no longer going to be able to make it. So it's just like Jay said, getting those things more fine-tuned, and we definitely have a better plan in place for all of that. And me and Jay actually were talking about an idea that we're going to have more conversation on, about being able to add even more event stuff, photo ops, props, different things like that, to help expand and give people more things to do throughout the weekend while they're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Definitely.
I think Jay had a great idea where the who was it that asked you Wednesday?
Ryan was asking if there was a way that we could do, a play on this coronavirus or the 6 feet rule. And I was thinking, I came up with a quick idea, but then Will jumped on it and expanded with coming up with a prop that looks like a 2-pack Funko Pop box. And there could actually be a partition in between there. And then you would step in one side, your friend or the celebrity or anything. It depends. We haven't really gone into too much detail, but something like that where you get to take your photos, but there's the safety involved, but it looks like you're in a Funko Pop case.
That's cool. That's a cool idea.
You got to think outside the box now, because it's like we understand, but there was already people that were germaphobes with meeting patrons and everything, and now, just to step that up, it was one thing when you go to shake somebody's hand like Billy D. Williams, and he literally is like, no, I don't shake hands. But then to also have a mask on, also wearing gloves, things like that. It's just like the next level of just I can think about it. DeVito and Always Sunny when he shaved his body and he's.
I want to be pure.
Yes.
You get invest in decontamination chambers.
Yeah, right. Well,
like Dwight in The Office.
Yeah.
Jay's not going to get that one. Jay doesn't watch The Office.
Office?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, but I just never got into it. I don't know.
How? That show is insane, man. It's so funny. It's one of those shows. I've watched that show. I've watched those seasons. I've literally watched all seasons probably 8 times through. And
see, that's how I am. That's oddly enough, that's how I am with Dexter and That 70s Show. I can't
watch Dexter because Dexter ruined it for me. Dexter was amazing for 7 seasons. Last one, I'm like, he's banging his sister. This is stupid. What are we doing? I'm like, we ruined it.
Didn't bang. He's banging her in real life.
I know. It just got real awkward when they added the whole incest storyline. Well, this is weird.
I think it's even more awkward that they met and fell in love on the show, and they were brother and sister on the show from the beginning.
Yeah, that would be awkward, yeah. That's weird.
It's all right, honey. Today we're going to pretend to be brother and sister, and then we're going to go home and hook up.
Yeah, no kidding, right? No eye contact for the rest of the day, please.
Did you? Yeah, right. Did you see Chandler? I didn't even realize it said I made a pun talking about Funko Box.
Sorry, do you see Bob's request for Artist Alley?
Oh, the stripper pole?
Stripper pole and Artist Alley. Anything goes. Joseph Schmalke up on the stripper pole.
Dude, I was literally just going to say I'd do it, but Joe would be on that thing the whole time. So.
You know what I would love to get as far as a prop, or prop goes. Al, you'll probably have to correct me on the name. Is it John Marks? You guys have him at GalaxyCon last year. He had the How to Train Your Dragon set.
Oh yeah. We had the big, huge setup for it.
Yeah.
Big toothless thing. Yeah.
Toothless, yeah, and then he's doing the He-Man one this year that he's working on.
We did. I think he's the same guy that we had in Louisville. Was it Louisville or Minneapolis? I think it was Louisville. No, it was Richmond. Richmond. He had Castle Grayskull.
Yes.
And the Manticores. Oh man, it was so cool. He had a whole huge setup for it. So they wanted us to do like photo shoots for FSCW for Skeletor and Evil Lynn there. It was awesome. Though. The setup was massive. It was really cool.
Yeah, I remember coming to Raleigh last year and coming down the escalator. That's like the first thing you see, and it's just this massive setup. 'Cause I think he lives right out in or is based in either I think northern PA area.
Yeah, I think so.
So we've been trying to. I talked to him last year about trying to get him up here, but as you know, living up here, it's it's just a jaunt. He goes, even just trying to get all of that stuff up to Rhode Island last year for him was so much. To let alone like let me go another
another 6 hours.
6 hours up north, right?
Yeah. 6 hours is nothing. It's all 95. The hypno driving, man, where you see nothing but trees. You just fall asleep at the wheel. Dude,
that's the worst
I
part.
hated that drive so much. Did that every weekend for years, man. Ugh. Oh,
Yeah,
George wants cosplay risque. 18. Oh yeah. Those are always popular. Do the sexy girls and guys costume contest. Those are always popular.
Well, the local strip club actually asked us if we would be willing to coincide basically on something like that, and we basically told them like, you guys do it. I mean, I think people will go, but we're not gonna like put it on our flyer.
Yeah. Like I don't know, like you saw it, Will, like GalaxyCon, like they do like the burlesque show. That's about as crazy as they get with that. They do and that's always like 1 o'clock in the morning show. It's like when it's super late.
Yeah.
But the burlesque shows it's like a theme burlesque show.
As long as they're actually like good. I just feel like I don't know if it's the people that are just running it or whatnot, but there's so many times with burlesque shows or free shows.
It can get real rough.
Well, not even rough. Sometimes it's just the lamest thing you've ever sat. You're just sitting there. You're like, oh my god, please.
No, it's all. I mean, you really need. Like the thing with burlesque is you need a spot on MC. You need an MC who can really keep that momentum going. Who's like super charismatic, funny as hell. And then your dance troupe needs to like just be able to really get like not just be a normal burlesque dancer who's like, I'm just gonna throw on a Tron outfit and just go out there and be a geek, Right. Like my one friend Morgan, she runs the Shimmy Shake Review. She's got her own dance troupe, and man, those girls were like they were super hardcore fans for this stuff, all of them, and they were fantastic. They were the best burlesque dance group for for convention shows. Like they would go all out though. They did like a really good Star Wars one year, and the dancers are like A-list. These are girls that go all over the country dancing, like, getting paid to do it. Like, and they're from like New Orleans and Atlanta and Miami. So like the dancers were really good in there. MC Adam was so funny. He was really good. But then we've seen other ones like they're like, ugh, no, go away. Like this is cringy, super cringy.
Like Tim's bachelor party strip club cringy, like
what cesarean section girl, C-section girl.
Yeah. Oh man, story for another time. But
Chandler, we should do a Clerks prop stage. So
Brian does. Brian or Halloran does.
On it.
Yeah. So Brian.
Well, Halloran brings his own Clerk set usually.
Yeah, Brian's got his he's got his own huge setup that he has. But if you remember last year, Chandler, Future Presentation, who does the Red Room for us, and they revealed the Welcome to Twin Peaks sign. They're also doing the Turtle Sewer Lair, for Kevin and Judith and all the other guys. Hopefully, fingers crossed, depending on how things go, we will still be the first convention. But they've become like family to us. They're great people, and they are building a quick stop set up, which was going to be revealed at our show. We were going to be the first ones to have it. Hopefully that's still the case. I don't know if they're doing anything that would still be ahead of us now. I know Rhode Island is after us, and I don't know if they're doing any of the Clerks guys. So fingers crossed, we will still have the unveiling.
That'd be cool.
Of the quick stop, so we'll be able to do photo ops and go hang out in that. So yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a popular photo op. Everyone's gonna want photos of that.
Right.
Oh,
Just like leaning against the wall.
Yeah.
You're gonna
sure.
see so many Jay and Silent Bob cosplays.
Right.
And I mean, that's the biggest thing about it. As of right now, I mean, we've still got pretty much everybody on board for the reschedule. So I'm very excited about that. Fingers crossed. Still, I mean, I think as far as now, regardless, like Will and I are going to do everything in our power to still have this event, because I believe that we have enough people and support in the state of Maine of people that still believe in this show and love this show and want to come and support and everything. And like I was saying to Will, you know, we like with us being a smaller show, we also have the benefit of not expecting as many people as these bigger shows. You know, these other shows are having to be like, well, good Lord, man, we're used to having 30,000 to 100,000 people. Like we can't hit. You know, like with us, we're on such a lower scale that we're not worried about 30,000 people not showing up.
Yeah, because a lot of those shows will like overbook on the premise that they think they're gonna have enough of money to pay for the guests, whereas you're smarter and pay your show up ahead of time and do like how you guys do, where you guys are like, we're not gonna have 50,000 people run through here. We'll we know our numbers, our people, and they'll show up too, which is good. So
yeah,
I think too. I mean, even with all this going on, I think by fall, I mean, everyone's already stir crazy. I don't know about you guys up there, but dude, down here, dude, I mean, they're not even like people in Miami. I kid you not. I can go down the street. They're doing a block party like every night because the bars are closed, but they're not because it's Miami. Because you're not going to tell these people what to do. So the cops don't care. So there's like 50 people every night over at the bar across the street. They all just buy drinks at the bar and they just go sit on the sidewalk. And it's like every night and no one's wearing masks. Everyone's going nuts. Like this is the first week where I'm like, oh, wow, people are getting real stir crazy now.
People here in Maine are suing our governor. That's what's happening here.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard she's getting sued.
Oh, dude, people are revolting. We had that guy, something Savage. I want to call him Randy Savage, obviously, but I can't. Ricky. I think it's Ricky Savage that opened up, and he was on that friggin' like MSNBC news show talking about it, and he gave out Janet Mills' cell phone number on air.
Dude, she is not popular anywhere, man. The first time I ever heard my dad use like language unbefitting for a person, and I was like, "Whoa, Dad, you really hate her?" Huh? Like he's like,
definitely don't want to make it too political, everybody. I will say that right now she is taking some major heat from Mainers. Like, they are ready to go back to work.
Well, that's one thing about Maine. It's like Maine's a very very chill state for the most part, but like don't mess with their money. You know what I mean? It's like Maine thrives. Maine's a small business state. Maine doesn't have like massive conglomerates. Everything is small business. Everything is privately owned. They screwed over everyone, basically being like, pack up, go home.
They actually like announced that Maine is the state that's getting hit the hardest because of small business.
Oh yeah, it's all Maine is all small business. It's crazy. I mean, like. It's tough. I mean, everyone's having a hard time. So I mean, I think by October, I'm hoping that things were what back to normal is. I'm hoping it's gonna be back to normal. I want to start wrestling again and getting back into shows. I'm so jonesing to wrestle, man. It's not even funny. So,
dude, I'm serious. Oh, sorry, Will.
Well, so yeah, kind of like Al said about like people are getting stir crazy like. It's even worse here in Maine because we just got over winter, so you got people that have already trapped inside for.
Plus, you got seasonal affective disorder on top of that, where you get like no sun for basically 5 months.
This is supposed to be when we're breaking out. Yeah, and everybody's like feeling better.
Jean shorts are coming out. The tank tops. Like.
My pockets are hanging out below my cut.
This is when it's supposed to be like getting out and getting moving again in the sun. So
I'll tell you, Kimberly and I have been taking advantage of it though. We've gotten pretty much all of our summer projects already done. So now, of course, there's already still a bunch of projects we've thought of doing, but all of our big ones are already done.
Yeah, Sam, I've been writing like a ton of stuff just for this and that, just for work, for wrestling stuff, and just when I'm getting my personal training certification, just because I'm like, well, why not? I usually don't have time to do that, so I'm like, might as well. I always wanted to. I was like,
Absolutely.
at least I can have a side hustle making programs for people, like on through Instagram and stuff.
Well, I mean, for real though, Al, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that you haven't done that already. I mean, as long as you've been doing fitness and you know that there's plenty of people that would listen to you as far as like what to do. I mean, I've asked you, how many times have you put together plans for me since we were teenagers?
Decent amount. I mean, it's just, I mean, that's always something I like to do is just, now with this, I mean, and then I had to be smart enough to know, like, yeah, well, probably won't be having massive crowds of wrestling for a while. So, that's going to be like that's going to be phase 3. So that's, I'm not planning on wrestling probably down until, probably August, September, I assume. So, I mean, like Florida, they're going to start letting people have fans for wrestling. Wrestling's allowed in the state. So Florida would be the first state to start wrestling again. But I don't know how that's going to work with, only 25%, audience. That's going to be tough. I don't know how they're going to do fans like sitting next to each other because usually ass to elbows. So
right. Well, it's
I'm
interested
interested to see Disney.
Like you're sitting in the crowd and you're so used to like talking shit because you're like all of your buddies. But now you're just going to be in your own bubble, and when you say something, they're going to be like you, and you're like, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like what's gonna take shape in the next few months. So I mean, I'm an optimist though. I think people will be, I think people will just kind of once things calm down, things will kind of roll back into normalcy.
I think they'll probably just do like every other seat. It doesn't have to be 6 feet, but I feel like, I mean, in all reality, if you could sit like normal at a wrestling show and you just was you, an empty seat, another person, an empty seat. I mean, come on.
It's still gonna be awkward though, because you're gonna be like, hey,
you got somewhere to put your stuff. Always.
Yeah, that's true. We have plenty of seats now.
My change purse sitting here, buddy.
That and flying. Like, there's gonna be so many fun things to watch and how people react because people just lose their minds on this stuff.
Dude, Chandler Davis, he'll listen to one of your workout plans. So Chandler on board.
Absolutely.
Get it. Trying to see who's joined here. We got Tim Storman. What's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in
Tim,
forever.
what's up, man?
Yeah, right, Al. It's been a long time.
I've known Tim since he was like 5 years old, man. We used to go to church together.
Right.
Yeah, him and his sister.
I think I saw my buddy Sam Moore work with that Gagans. He was in here. Jesse Mallory. I love you, Jesse. Justin Fletcher. He joined a little bit. I don't know if he's still here. Joining. Let's see who else on here. We got any questions? Nothing. Dude, say redoing the house, Chandler. Yeah, there's always like a project to do. My biggest thing this summer is to finally redo the upstairs of my garage. I've wanted to get that like sealed off just so a space heater works. That's my biggest goal, is so that a space heater actually fills up the place with heat. Right now, it just like goes out.
What are you just insulating it? You gonna insulate it in sheetrock it?
I'm gonna sheetrock it, actually put a door in and all that. My goal has been to actually put a bar up there, but every year there's always other projects that take precedence. But I think this year I can finally do it.
I always like that kind of work too. So I always like doing those little like kind of fun little projects. Like I'm looking forward to like buying my first house and like actually doing like home projects, stuff like that'd be fun.
I've been super motivated. I mean, normally I'm like working all the time. So of course when I come home, Kimberly's like, hey, can you help me do this? I'm just like, now I'm just like, not doing anything. So I'm like, yeah, I did this today. I did this today. But also what's killing me is that everything has to be perfect. Like I already was OCD, but I feel like because I'm not in my craft where I'm trying to do things really nice, like when you give me a project, I'm trying to like nail it. Yeah. Because I I have nothing else right now that I can really put that focus into.
I'm saying if I'm working on something, I'm like not gonna half-ass it. It can't especially now. It's like now I don't have an excuse. That's on me. Yeah. I got nothing.
I was working all the time. Sorry.
George says he's still here with us, and thank you to Paul in Galactic Comics. They're sharing the feed and got a little watch party going for us, so that's really cool. Thank you for everybody.
Very nice. Anybody wants to join in conversation? Jump on in. Anybody got any questions for Alex and his sexy face?
Nope,
nobody likes you, sir.
No.
Yeah, getting back to, that was pretty awesome that we had Catherine on here. She's a super sweet lady.
Yeah, she's cool. Very nice lady.
Yeah, I would love to, she seems like somebody that we could just, invite back on sometime. She'd probably just jump back on.
Jump back on for the.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny because she's like, yeah, I got about 20 minutes to a half an hour, and we hit the mark, and she's like, yeah, if there's any more questions, it was the same as Jason, any more questions, I'll happily take them.
That's cool.
Looks like we got Jay a deal here. Jay's gonna start making books with Catherine apparently. So.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just send her my email, and I'm gonna jump on that. I mean.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Struggle Iron's hot, man. Oh,
Exactly.
where did I get my? Oh yeah, George wants to know where I got this one. Is an actual like vintage Captain America shield. I believe Alan Bellman, the last Golden Age writer for Marvel, who just recently passed. Nice guy. He's like one of the original artists for Captain America. Him and Mike Broder got that. I think Alan had it, and Mike Broder bought it from him. And then I got it from just doing Captain America over the years. So Mike gave it to me. And that one's my old cap shield from FSCW. I've gone through a ton. I have another shield somewhere. I haven't been able to mount it, but that one's when I was doing Captain America that was probably 8 years ago, my original one, before I moved over, started doing Skeletor. So
now,
it's like cap shields.
Yeah, I'd like to say with Al, you've got, all right, so you've done your Skeletor. You did a lot of conventions as Captain America.
Yep.
And
I did Superman too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you also
Jill Thompson.
You not only did you dress as Superman, or you were used as.
I was Superman. Yeah, I was. So Brian Michael for the Action 1000 Superman anniversary, the 1000th edition of Superman. They had all the famous artists from DC, all the and writers like Brian Michael Bendis, Jill Thompson. I think Romita was there too. I think he was one of them. But Jill, I'm actually friends with Jill Thompson, so she's the best female artist ever for comic books. She's the best. If you want to look at a female comic artist, she did Sandman with Neil Gaiman. She does Scary Godmother. She does Wonder Woman right now. So they asked her to draw Superman. So she texted me and she's like, "Hey, do you want to be Superman?" I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, What do you mean? And she's like, "Oh, I need someone. She's like, I don't really draw a lot of guys." She's like, "I need guys for scale." She's like, "I want to use your face and your body, and you're going to be Superman in the comic." And I was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And so she would just send me sketches of poses I need to do, and then you would do the photo, and then she would basically put me in. And so I'm in the Action 1000 series as Superman. It blows my mind now. I'm literally in a comic.
There that you can show us a picture or anything?
Yeah, you send me. I have it over here. I have a copy over here. Let me grab it.
Please stand by. Alex will be back.
Hey, while he's doing that, Jay, what are we drinking tonight?
Oh, I stuck with. I haven't really gotten a chance. Shopping is so weird right now, so I haven't really been able to go shopping. So last time I had Baxter. This science one, but tonight I went with the Brilliant Lager, Einstein, Baxter, another Maine brewery. I got to branch out. If anybody out there has a recommendation for any Maine-made beer, craft beer, anything like that I should try, and maybe a recommendation on where I can get it, then I will go grab that. I'm personally an IPA fan for the most part, but I'll pretty much drink anything you guys suggest it as far as beer.
I have the comic somewhere. I have the picture though on my phone.
Okay, let's see it. George also has a question.
I also have this one too. This is another comic cover I was on. It's Hack Slash. That was a variant cover for that. It's me as Vlad. I don't know if you can see that. That's me and my friend Doris Torres. She's a cosplayer and she's our seamstress for FSCW actually. But we did the cover for Teeny Howard and them. That was pretty cool. That was actually a cool shoot. Let me see. I have it here somewhere. Trying to remember what years.
Jay, George asked about wine.
Oh, wine. Dragonfly wine. Their cranberry is actually really good. I used to work at a Irish pub, and we had their cranberry wine, and it straight up tastes like cranberry juice. Like, it's good, but it's like dangerous because it just tastes like juice.
Right.
I'm not a huge wine guy. If I do drink a wine, it's like a Chardonnay. I'll drink Chardonnay out of a box all day.
I like a good like Malbec. I love a red.
I can't do reds, but I'm a beer guy for sure. I love my whiskey and I love my beer. Like a whiskey neat Jameson and a good IPA with dinner, steak, potatoes. Oh man, that's where it's at right there.
Yeah, so this is
I'm a man. You can't.
That's the Action 1000. That's the issue right there. That's the cover. That's the Bendis cover. And then let's see. Yeah, this is all me right there. And then I don't know if you can get it. There we go.
There we go. Maybe like
I have a shot
photos
here.
in the comment section too. After.
Yeah, that was pretty cool though. Like she was saying, because I would do the sketch and then she would draw it. So like that's the initial she was sending me these as she's doing. That's actually from the actual books. Yeah, from the book. I wish I have the comic somewhere, but it was pretty cool. Like the cool thing about it was so you do this, so you do the pose and then she would go ahead. Oh, sorry. She would go ahead and draw that. Like so that to that. That's what you would do. So that was pretty cool. Like she's obviously she's really good at what she does. That's why she's also the most famous artist out there.
Yeah, right.
Like I have so many wrestling photos on here. It's stupid. That's all my thing is like
a wrestling photo, not like a Luke Roberts.
No, this is like an old. Yeah, it's just an old ass photo, promo photo from like years ago.
Hey Jay, have you tried any of the Lone Pine stuff?
No, it's Lone Pine. Did they ask me that, or is that?
I love moonshine.
No,
George, I got 2 bottles of White Lightning, like a little Kentucky Shine in my. I got like 4 bottles of it as a present from an agent years ago. My buddy Chris, he came in with a duffel bag full of Kentucky Shine, and I was like, "I'm taking." And he's like, "You're take as much as you want." I'm like, "Oh, literally, like it will peel the paint off your car." It's actually really good. I give them away as gifts because I'm not gonna drink it. I've had it sitting there for 3 years, and I have half a bottle drank.
There's a main moonshine.
Was it GalaxyCon's got its own?
We get a bourbon.
We get right. Yeah.
Well, I'm a bourbon guy, so I'm always pumped for that. I always get a bottle. I got a bottle of Elijah. We got this year it was the Elijah Craig. It was a Elijah Craig 24, I think. So it was 24 year. It was good. It's a good year. But yeah, I'm a massive. That's my liquor of choice. I love bourbon straight up is what I'm about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay, I was asking about the Lone Pine because I know it's another main beer, and see a lot of people drinking it. And so Paul was having some earlier, and it's called Hawaiian T-shirt Cannon.
Okay.
It's a pale ale with pineapple, guava, and coconut.
Oh, that sounds good. I love guava.
So
I'm gonna try it.
What is it called again?
Good. I don't know if is it
Hawaiian?
It's like blurry. Hawaiian short cannon.
Hawaiian T-shirt cannon.
That I could probably find that at Damon's. I wonder in Bangor if Paul got it. It must be somewhere local.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sure, Damon's has got to put it on that.
Oh, it's in Bangor. Okay.
See if I can get that for our next episode.
Yeah, I don't know where. I think Lone Pine is down in Portland area, but I'm sure Damon's is probably, carries it. So.
Yeah, well, it's been exploding in Maine as far as shipping and all that, and especially right about now, everybody's been getting kind of special privileges as far as shipping beer, all that.
Yeah, I can't imagine how good the beer business is doing. My dad, my dad works for Budweiser, and he's like, "Yeah, we're putting out record numbers right now." He's like, "That's all people do is just drink."
Oh yeah, you have to. And like I'd say, the local guys like Budweiser, obviously they're like good to go. But the local guys, they've stopped doing keg sales. They're doing like all cans sales because they can still sell those as like curbside and all that. But
because you got to grab and go. You can't sit and so.
Yeah.
I got
Yes.
one more question for Al before we kind of wrap things up for the night. George asked, who would you say is your favorite writer and also your favorite villain?
My favorite writer. It's hard because it's like there's so many different. It depends on who you're going after. I mean, I like. Let me see. I mean, I like Neil Gaiman. He always writes incredibly good stories. That's like heavy reads. Let me try to think. Bendis always writes really good. He always writes really good stories. Let me see. Now I'm gonna look at all my books because I'm like trying to figure out which one I like the most. I don't know. Like, probably shit. I don't know. I like all of them, man. It's hard to choose. It's like choosing your favorite kid. It's like because like I'm a bad. Well, because when it comes to like Batman, like there's so many different Batman writers that I like, and there's like so many different variations of comics. Like my favorite book is Long Halloween for Batman, and that was and then there's always like Killing Joke, but I mean it really depends. Let me grab. Oh yeah, Hush series is good too. Let me see. Grab Hush.
I still got to read The Killing Joke. I feel embarrassed.
Right here, this is Jeff Loeb. This is also this is actually my first graphic novel I ever read. Like was Hush. I remember reading this at the Bangor Public Library when I was in high school, and man, this is like it was this and Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come is still to this day my favorite story like ever told for DC Comics. And that's my favorite. In terms of villain, like it kind of plays into my favorite villain because the villain in that was Captain Marvel, Shazam. So but it was like a weird, cool, like a long-term villain switch on him. Like no one really saw that coming, and then when he basically killed everyone at the end of the thing, I was like, man, it was such a good read. Like, I remember reading that graphic novel, and I just blew my mind. Like that's what got me into comic books was reading that and Hush. And I just thought they were the coolest comics ever made. But yeah, for favorite overall villain period, I mean it's probably Joker because I mean, being such a massive Batman fan, he's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like Joker and Mr. Sinister too from X-Men was another one that I really liked a lot.
Okay.
I just thought he was pretty cool.
That's obscure for sure. Yeah, Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
Have we seen Mr. Sinister in any of the
They teased him in I can't remember which, if it was X-Men or Deadpool. One of the more recent, it was like one of the last of the Fox Marvel series. They mentioned his name. Like Exeter, like they mentioned Essex. They mentioned his last name. So I think before Fox sold out to Disney, they were definitely going to go down that route. I think they were going to go Mr. Sinister because they're going to go to his island. So I think he was on deck to be the next big villain. He's an awesome villain. He's really cool because he personally doesn't do much, but all of his creations and mutations are like what he throws armies at you kind of thing.
Yeah.
You got to read Johnny Lynch. Yeah, you got to read Kingdom Come. It's amazing. It's a thick read, but it's awesome. It's such a cool twist on what would happen if superheroes just took over the whole world basically. And they messed everything up. It's a cool.
I'm looking at Kingdom Come. I'd have to say Watchmen would be that one for me. That was the graphic novel.
Watchmen's awesome. Yeah. I love Watchmen. I thought Watchmen was great. I mean, Alan Moore writes really good stuff. And it's cool because the backstory on Watchmen too, because that technically was supposed to be the Justice League, but then DC looked at it, they read it, and it was literally Dr. Manhattan was supposed to be Superman. If you look at it, you can actually make out who is supposed to be who, like Night Owl's Batman, obviously, and But then like DC looked at it and they're like, oh God, we can't do this. Like we can't have this is way too dark and there's way too much killing. He's like, yeah, we can't have this be Justice League. So he's like, so they pitched it back to Alan Moore, like, we love the story, just change everything about it. Like rename everyone. Like we'll do the story, you know. But it's I loved it. That's such a cool. I don't know if you watched. Have you watched the HBO show at all? It's actually really good.
No, I started and I got like 3 episodes in, and then we got rid of HBO or something. I can't remember. I was trying to downsize on all the friggin' subscriptions that I have. Yeah. And I got rid of HBO because Game of Thrones was over. I forgot to finish The Watchmen, but I really like. It was funny because I love The Watchmen. I wanted to watch it for that reason, but I also wanted to watch it because one of our friends, Moses Mosley, who played one of Michonne's pets, he plays a small role in that show.
Oh, okay.
That's like what I was watching for was him, and then I just fell out of it, and now I need to watch. But I've heard it's really, really good.
Yeah, it's awesome. I really enjoyed it. I mean, people either like love or hate the original movie. I thought the movie was great, so
See, I watched the movie, didn't really get it, didn't get into it. Read the comic or the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Fell in love with the graphic novel. Rewatched the movie and fell in love with the movie after that because I realized how well they transitioned it. Like they basically, and what you would think most people would do is like you have a storyboard right here, the comics, and they basically use that comic as the storyboard.
Yeah, he just twisted out. Yeah, he just twisted the ending. That's all he did.
The ending. But it made sense.
I like the ending. Yeah,
I'm actually glad that they did that.
I like I like Snyder's version of the ending. So that's the one thing. It's like a twist. If you watch the HBO show, they're going by the graphic novel ending, not the.
Okay, so they do it with that. So that's what threw me off too, is because the timeline is basically it's the same timeline back when Nixon was president, but it's in present day.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just but their timeline, so it doesn't necessarily go by the Zack Snyder 1985 timeline. It's the actual graphic novel. So like with the alien invasion and all that. So like really where it goes like that shit nuts at the end. Yeah. But it's really cool how they do it. It was good. It's really good.
No, I agree. All right. Hey, we went off a little tangent.
Yeah. Anybody else have any more questions for Al? Anything gaming, comic, wrestling related? Throw them out here for a minute before we wrap up.
Chill.
So we got that little bit of a lag, so we'll give it a
second. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. For anybody, still watching, we still got after we're gonna let Al go, and then we'll close out. And we got one last announcement for you guys.
Cool.
Yeah. So for those that have stuck around or still here, you guys will get to see something before we post it tomorrow. Paul Eaton is here. Paul, I don't know if you missed it, but just gave you a little shout out earlier. Said thank you for doing the watch party. Paul said Kingdom Come is a great read.
Yep. It definitely is.
I don't know much about wrestling. Wouldn't know what to ask Johnny. That's okay. No worries. All right. So yeah, I guess we'll kind of leave it there. So cool. Al, thank you so much for joining in and hanging out with us again tonight.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. It's always fun. I always like talking shop. It's like the only time I get to talk about this stuff nowadays.
Right?
Yeah.
We love having you on. It always feels natural. You're more than welcome.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, for those that don't know, Al, I'm hoping that we are still going to get you to come up for the reschedule. Yep. So anybody that wants to meet Al, or I don't know if he's going to bring any of his costumes, cosplay, or whatnot, but we'll see.
I'm bringing my Skeletor might show up. Who knows?
That'll be fun. Great. Awesome, Al. Well, have a great night.
All right, dudes. All right, guys. See you later.
I'll take care.
Later.
All right. Oh, shoot. You got to fix
it again. So give me a second while I fix Jay over here. Don't leave. There's one more thing we have to tell you. We're still here, don't worry. We're just, yeah. Well, it's just like last time where Chandler was like, oh no, we lost you guys. It's like, no, we're still here. I'm just in edit mode. Oh no.
Hi, Tam. Love you, buddy. No, it's not technical difficulties. It's on purpose.
Yes, it's not technical difficulties. It's on purpose. Just had so basically the way this all works, guys, real quick. We're all this one giant Skype call, and so after somebody leaves, it messes with the cameras that I have set up in the program I use. So, when we lost Catherine, I had to go switch to this so I could fix Jay and have him brought back in, and same for Al. And then once Al left, I had to fix it again so it wasn't just Jay's forehead and a giant black Skype board. So, but yeah, so we're here. Florida thinks I think Will's doing it on purpose now. I can promise you, I'm not doing it on purpose, Bob. So I guess a little quick backstory. There was no technical difficulties earlier. We just couldn't get a hold of Catherine.
Time difference.
Yeah, poor Catherine forgot that there's a massive time difference from California to Maine, and around 8:20 finally was like, well, I thought we were going live at 8, and I was like, well, it's 8:30. So she was great. She quickly got back, got set up and on the call with us. So yeah, thank you guys so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight, comment and sharing. It's been a blast. We appreciate you guys. We've got a ton of great things to come. And I guess with that, we good, Jay? We ready to show them?
Yeah, I'm totally ready. I hope you guys are excited for this. We're going to try to keep bringing stuff like this to you, where I know we had to postpone the event, but this is our way of still giving you a little bit of a convention vibe and experience by meeting different celebrity guests that we've had and are going to have at our convention.
Yeah, so without further ado, boom, May 27th, we're going to be joined by Kevin Eastman, one of the co-creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, our own Portland boy, Ben Bishop, and our good friend, Troy Little, for a massive joint Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Drawing Blood themed episode. Some of you guys know, Ben and Troy were both here last year. Ben's here every year. Ben and Troy did some great American versus Canadian themed episodes, live streams last year. So we're super excited to have them. And I mean, come on, Kevin Eastman.
Right, we're going to have Kevin Eastman.
Like, what the hell?
Questions. You guys get to chill. We can talk Drawing Blood. We can talk Ninja Turtles, Ronin Ragdolls, all that stuff. We can talk Tony Little's doing the Rick and Morty stuff. Ben Bishop's always got his aggregate going on. Plenty of fun stuff.
Yeah, so it's a few weeks out, but start thinking of questions now. Anything you wanna ask, we'll do the same thing. We'll try to make sure everybody's question is answered. We're super thankful that they're going to take the time out of, take the time to join us. Kevin is amazing. So yeah, that's it.
That's
May 27th.
May 27th, guys. We will have an episode before then. So basically, just to update you guys, what's going to happen is this coming Wednesday, I want to say the 13th.
Yes.
We have that one in the works. We're pretty sure we know which episode we're going to do for that. We'll update you on that. The 23rd, next Saturday, we normally would have an episode, but we're going to postpone that one because for those of you that don't.
Next Saturday is the 16th. We'll be there.
Oh, wait, which one am I thinking of?
You're thinking of two Saturdays.
Oh, okay, sorry. Either way, just so anybody knows, we'll say it again, but anybody that's listening, the May 23rd, Judith Hogue, who plays April O'Neil in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, has a YouTube channel going on right now, and she's going to be doing a pizza party that night. And she actually invited us along personally, so we're definitely going to go stay tuned for that and everything. So we encourage everybody else to come along and watch that. So that weekend we'll postpone our web series so everybody can enjoy that with Judith.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it? On Monday, she kind of reached out to us and said, "Hey guys, this is what I'm doing. Would really love to have you guys there," and officially told us she will be here in October for the new dates.
Yep.
So that was
Yep.
awesome. I think for next Saturday, we're doing a gaming themed episode. So we've got hopefully Dave from Winter House will be joining in with us. Sean French, absolutely amazing artist, but also has person in general, yeah. But lately has kind of stepped away from the comic and drawing side and is now doing video gaming and web gaming, mobile gaming, and he's helped create Epic Tavern, which is just blown up. Has won a ton of awards for that, as well as just put a new game out, or has a new game coming out called Murder on the Medway. So we're going to talk gaming with those guys, and it's not 100% yet, but Sean did tell us, and I'm probably going to mess this up horribly, but his mentor, Tomo Morowakai, again, I'm probably saying that wrong, so I apologize, may also be joining us, and he was the lead designer for the new Spider-Man games, as well as Call of Duty and Medal of Honor, just to name a few. So hopefully he'll be joining in with Sean and Dave. So we got some really cool things lined up. As Jay said, we will be taking off Saturday the 23rd, so we can join in with Judith for part of her event. So just one weekend off, but hopefully we'll see you guys all back here Wednesday for the next episode. And again, I'm just going to flash this one more time. The reveal. Boom. Oh, Jay's in a little flash. So one last time, guys. May 27th, right here on the Don't Cross the Stream web series, we will be joined by Kevin Eastman, Ben Bishop, and Troy Little. Again, Turtles, Drawing Blood. Jay, you've got a few more that you can name off. It's going to be a great time. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining in tonight and hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys so much. So, Jay, you got anything else you want to add in?
Everybody, have a good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite, all that good stuff.
Have you seen that meme?
No.
I think it was it Ashley Colbuzera? How do you say Ashley? You know what I'm talking about. Well, she works at Colbuzera. I don't know how to say her last name.
I don't know.
Works at Angelo's.
Oh yeah, yes. I know what you're talking about.
So she posted a meme. It was it was like mom telling the kid, like, sleep tight, don't let the bug beds bite. And like the meme below it is like this giant bug like swallowing the half of the child and being like, I didn't sleep tight or something like that.
That's the key. You gotta sleep tight.
So I guess just close with this again. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Catherine, for joining in. Al for joining us. Thank you to Mason's Brewing Company, Gagan's, and Orno Brewing Company, Harvest Moon Deli, Paul from Galactic Comics, Josh from Cinema Club, and the Seasons crew, all some of our great sponsors. And if you're interested, reach out to us. We'd love to have you guys on here. Again, thank you. Be safe, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.